Okay. It looks like we're live on YouTube. So, let's see. I'm gonna wait a little bit real quick to see if anybody
I'm going to
hops
close
in
down
real
my
quick.
email.
What was that?
I closed down my email.
Okay, perfect. Um, so hello everybody out there watching us. If you're just joining us or anything, you could call in and talk to Jane in a little bit. But first, she's going to give us a quick recap because we have interviewed Jane before. She's been on the podcast. She's intuitive healer. She's, let me just tell you the quick rundown. So Jane doesn't have to. So Jane is a medical intuitive and energy healer. She specializes in helping people with chronic pain and chronic illness. Jane's intuitive abilities enable her to connect with your body's energy field and discern imbalances that affect your overall health and well-being. She is guided to make adjustments that will lead your body back to wellness. So that's a quick little rundown. Jane's gonna tell us about she has a new show coming up, so where people it's gonna be similar to this, but just Jane, so you won't have to worry about me yapping or anything like that. It'll be straight to Jane and questions about or concerns about your healing, right? That we're learning some stuff. So yeah,
Mhm.
Jane, thank you so much for being here. It's an honor to be here with you once again.
Thank you, Omar. Very happy to be here again. Very happy to speak for a little while about energy healing, how I became a healer, and then talk about the show, my new show. And I'm really excited about taking questions from Callins from the audience. So how did I become an energy healer? The Reader's Digest version is I was in healthcare finance for 27 years, and during the last few years of that career, I became severely ill with a condition that couldn't be resolved with Western medicine,
Mm,
couldn't be resolved with naturopathic healing, couldn't be resolved with acupuncture, couldn't be resolved with meditation. Um, and not as a last resort, but someone connected me to one of their friends who was an energy healer. And I said, I'll
mm.
do anything serious. And people who come see me say they'll do anything because they're at the point where they're not finding the kind of help to get them back to health. So began to see this energy healer. And sure enough, I started to feel like I was coming back,
Oh, wow.
slowly, surely, subtly. It was almost like my life force was coming back. And so after having several months, it could have even been a year of monthly sessions with this energy healer, I decided that I would like to help people with this modality. And I asked her if she would teach me to do it. And there was just some uh, uh, resistance there. And so I'm not sure why. Long story short, um, I decided that I was going to figure out how to do it on my own. But after I overheard a conversation while I was still in healthcare finance at work, I was becoming sicker and sicker and sicker and thinner and thinner and thinner. And
Mm.
just things were just going downhill. And I overheard a conversation of my colleagues over the petition while I was trying to get a meeting with my boss. Um, and they were planning a support group to console themselves for when I died. And
Wow.
I said to the admin who was making my appointment for me, I said, I'll be right back. And I went back to my office and I thought, I can't believe what I just heard. I went home that night. I got on my knees. I prayed to God and I said, listen, this is what just happened today. It
Mm.
appears that my friends and colleagues feel like think I'm going to die. And they have planned Tuesday night at 5:30 for their support group to help
Wow.
console themselves if that happened. And I said, listen, God, I've been a good sport and a brave soldier. I've been sick for 5 years
Mm.
and not getting any better. And I said just this little prayer. If you heal me, I'll do the right thing and I'll heal the people. Show me what to do.
Mm,
Okay, went to bed. Nothing miraculous happened the next day, but I was determined that I was going to start just helping people with energy healing. So fast forward to the last job that I had in healthcare finance, where they let go of everybody that designed the whole computer system. We spent 18 months on it. And for
wow.
cost saving for a new president that was coming in, they let all of us go. That was the worst thing they could have done. However, it was an opportunity for me to do some consulting work in that field and work part-time doing that, half days, and then afternoons and evenings. I just decided I was going to start seeing people. I was going to put my hands over them. I was going to say little prayers and see if they got better. And
Mm.
so that's how I launched my healing practice. And I remember having a conversation with a friend of mine who's also an energy healer. And she said a similar prayer and she said, help me give the people hope. She gave me hope. I said, show me what to do. She goes, I wish I would have said that, because I see anatomy and physiology. I see what's happening in the body. And then I ask, how can I help? And then I see kind of a treatment plan with screens in front of me, and I naturally know what to do on my body as far as hand placements to get energy into them so that
Mm.
their body can begin to heal. So that's the short version of how I became a healer. And that was more than 20 years ago. I stopped counting at 20, could be 23 years. I'm not sure. I mean, why do I keep counting? It's more than 20 years. So
Oh,
my
that's
second career, it's my second career. Yeah.
wow. No, 20
Mhm.
years. So, um, after 20 years, like you're very confident in what you do. Like you've experienced everything you've needed to experience with that. So, let me ask you real quick, because we'll go into right now. And right now, while Jane is talking about her new show, I'm going to put in the chat on YouTube. I'm going to put the phone number you can call, and then the meeting passcode and the meeting ID, right? So you could, this is my first time doing the live calling, so we'll do it like that, right? So right now, while she shares
Oh,
her
yeah.
story, but
So
real,
they can start. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, so they could get
Hmm.
and then I think it's gonna put them in a waiting room, anyone that calls, and then we'll take any questions for Jane. Oh yeah, I wanted to ask you, at what point after doing it, real quick, and then you could go into the radio show. How long did it take you to finally feel confident when you were like, oh yeah, I got this, and then after you had started doing it?
That's a really good question. In the beginning, I would just put my hands over people when I was seeing people in person, which was the majority of my career. I'm now distance only, but I would
Mm.
just put my hands over people and I would say, how can I help? And then I would
Oh.
start seeing anatomy and physiology, and I'd have to actually go look some things up to see what exactly I was seeing. I had a rough idea. Um, but year after year, it was almost like you get transfer of information. Some people call it downloads. So every 6 months or so, it was like I got an upgrade. And then I was working with new techniques. So here I thought, 6 to 12 months, I was really solid, right? This has been going on for 20 years. I'm
Wow.
really solid with these techniques. And then all of a sudden, over a period of time, a day or two or three, you feel like, oh, something's happening. I don't know. You start working with people and you have access to new information. And so then
Mm.
I'd have new information, and it was, like swimming along, trying to learn the new information while still using the old techniques. And then you'd go along 6, 8 months like that. And next thing you know, you'd have another download and you'd have new information, new anatomy and physiology, new healing points. So this happens consistently, over the 20-year period of time. So I'm always evolving. I'm always getting, not always, every, several months, new information as it's necessary I find that it's necessary for the people who will be coming to me soon. And
Mm.
then I have these new techniques. So I still use all the old ones, but now I have this library of information that's 20 years of archives from what I learned in the beginning and what I've learned so far in terms of the transfer of information that I need to help people on higher and higher levels.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
No, that's amazing. Yeah, no, thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, I wasn't aware of that. I don't know if I had asked you that in the last interview that we had done.
Didn't. That's a really good question. Nobody ever asked me that. You asked me so many phenomenal questions. It
Oh,
was
thank
an excellent interview. And there's another really good question. Really
oh,
good question.
thank
Yeah.
you, thank you. So right now, before you go into the talk
Yeah.
about the radio, because I know Mariska, she's in the chat. Also, if she has a question, if anyone, because I know she's I forgot what country she's in. I think she told me the Netherlands or I forgot.
Mhm.
But yeah, if someone wants to ask Jane a question, you could ask in the chat as well, and I could transfer it because I only had the US phone number. I forgot to get the phone number for other countries to call in to
Mm.
Zoom. So if anyone
Mhm.
has a question from another country, you can just write it in the chat about healing or anything that any question that you have for Jane and the net. Okay, I got it right. The Netherlands. It's good. Yeah. So yeah, if Mariska, if you have any questions, yeah, for Jane, just put it in the chat and I'll relay it over to her as well. Anything, any healing that you want or anything that you feel that's bothering you. So real quick, she's gonna talk about the new show, and then we'll get into anyone that wants to call. So
Okay.
okay.
So, after my interview with you, I think it was November or so, somewhere between there and I think it was March, I remembered a woman sending me an email invitation to be a host on her platform. And
Mm,
she sent it to me in September because I remember I had to go look and see find it and see when it was dated. And at the time when she sent it to me in September, um, so that, shortly after that, I was working with you, but you were the first interview I ever did. I just
mm,
didn't have the bandwidth or the energy to do really anything else. So busy with my healing practice. And as time went on, I think it was, uh, you know, just having such a nice interview with you. As time went on, I'm thinking, I'm going to look up that email and reread it and see, what she's asking of me and what she has to offer in her platform. Well, it's the platform is News for the Soul. The founder is Nicole Marie Whiteley. She founded this platform 27 years ago, and she has
oh wow.
many, many spiritual people, healers, psychics. Oh, such a great group of people on her platform, animal communicators, all kinds of awesome people.
Mm,
So I did write back to her. I think it was beginning of March, and I asked if I told her I was still interested and apologized for taking so long to get back to her. And is the offer still open to be a host on her show? And she got back to me right away. It took a week or two to get everything set up, but it was quick to get the profile set up. And I think shortly after that in April, I had my first interview with her. It was actually aired April 15th live, but we had to redo it and relaunch it on April 22nd because
mm.
now it's an interview and a demo healing with her dog. So long story
Oh.
short, newsforthesoul.com. Energy Healing with Jane is the name of my show. It's going to be on the third Monday of every month, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. And I don't know if you were gonna put a link at the bottom of this
Yeah,
YouTube
absolutely.
video for that, and then there's a phone number to call. Um, so anyway, it'll be much like this. Uh, Nicole will be moderating the show. It's radio, though. It's radio. So
Mm,
Nicole will be moderating the show. She'll be introducing me. I'll pick a topic every month to talk about in terms of energy healing, my perspective of energy healing, just to help people understand. I mean, there's so many energy healers out there, so many psychics, so many animal communicators. I mean, there's such a large bandwidth of people that are doing, being of good service. And I
mm,
thought, it'd be nice to just talk about my perspective on energy healing and some topics that I find not that I find interesting, topics that people ask me questions about all the time. I have no lack of topics. And so I'll spend a few minutes talking about a certain topic. People will call in or they'll text, on the live chat, and Nicole will take calls and take the live chats, and I'll answer questions for a portion of the show.
Mm,
So I'm pretty excited about it, and looking forward to being a host there for a while. Yeah.
absolutely. No, and it's funny that you brought up the people that communicate with animals, because just before this, like, I hate taking like the pill, but I had to take an allergy pill because like my dog, I have a husky and she's so furry, right? And I'm
Yeah.
always brushing, like, especially in the summer, right? She just starts shedding, and you'll
Yeah.
brush her and it's nonstop. Like, you'll have a ball of fur like that. And you look at her and it's like if I didn't just brush off, like if I didn't just brush her for like an hour or something. And then um so I sometimes don't hug her because of the of all the allergies right now when she's shedding. But I don't know, I could tell she was like looking at me, and then I was like, all right, come on. And I just gave her like a huge hug, and she just like sank into me like a person. Like, I was like, oh wow, like she had it was like it was just crazy. It was like the way she sunk into me. I was like, wow, she needed, and she just started like like really like she needed that hug. And I know I had been kind of neglecting because of that allergy. That was like, I can't hug because you just give me these, and I was like, you know what? Screw the allergy. So even right before this interview, I was sneezing so much, but I could tell that the dog needed that. So I've been wanting to interview a animal communicator. So I'll definitely see on
On
the
that platform. I think her
yeah,
name
yeah.
is Rose. I think her name is Rose. Yeah. And just so that you know, I had to take an allergy pill too because I have a new puppy and she's so
Oh,
cute. And I put my face on hers, and you might have seen me like rub my eye a minute ago, because it's
wow.
itchy.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's worth taking the allergy pill.
Yeah, I had to do it. But once I seen her reaction, I was like, man, this is crazy. I wonder what she's thinking. And then here comes my other dog after I was hugging this one for a little bit. My other,
Yeah.
and she's a Labrador, and she's been getting kind of, I haven't been walking her because she's been on her like in heat or whatever. So I was like, I don't want, and some coyotes smell and they try to come or something. So I was
Right,
like,
right.
yeah. But she just came and boom, like she just pushes, like she's so um invasive for the attention, right? She always tries to steal the attention from the husky. So I'm just like, oh my, but that's pretty much what yeah. So anyway, it reminded me of that. So I love that, hearing about the animals, right? I definitely want to. I've been wanting to interview an animal communicator and all that stuff. So enough
Would you
about
like
that, because
me?
I know.
Yeah,
Oh, go
would you
ahead, go
like
ahead.
me to contact her
Yeah,
and make the connection? I will. Yeah,
absolutely.
I
Yeah,
will.
please, please.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay. So Mariska has and I hope I'm not slaughtering her. I don't know why. Sometimes I read it like if it was in Spanish, right? Like Mariska, but I don't know. It's Mariska, right? So Mariska does have a question. If you want to go ahead and get started with that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect. So Mariska has, she's had Lyme disease, and she said she's done everything to cure the Lyme disease.
Mhm.
She killed off all the germs, but she's still recovering. Do you have any intuitive suggestions for her?
Mhm.
Um, how
Yeah.
she can improve even more?
Yeah. So I
She
just
said,
wrote down
"Thank you."
Lyme
She said,
disease.
"Yeah,
Yeah. So I work with a lot of people with chronic Lyme, and there are 18 other co-infections for a tick bite. Okay. So then
yeah, yeah." I think that's how.
right? They all have different frequencies. So um people have gone on Lyme protocols, low dose antibiotics, parasite, all kinds of cleanses, but I've never seen a robust return to health um, with the protocols that only the protocols that we have for Lyme right now. And maybe there's somebody out there that did and can help enlighten me. So as an energy healer and a medical intuitive, it's out of my scope of practice to recommend a protocol, a vitamin, a supplement, a detox, right? Um, So what I do to help people who have Lyme or any co-infections is I do two things. I find the frequency of the actual Lyme spirochete and can sense the frequency of it. And then I ask in my mind, what energy do you need today to help that Lyme spirochete cease to exist? And so what happens is people start feeling different sensations in their body, and I can feel it too. And over some time, the colony begins to reduce, the symptoms start to get better, and the person feels better. The other thing I do in addition to that two-part process is I also help the person access the frequency of energy that makes that person an unsuitable host for
Mm.
the Lyme spirochete, right? So think of it. If the Lyme spirochete likes it like light blue and warm in the body, right? And we bring in a frequency that is, orange and cold, right?
Mm.
Now, this person isn't going to feel orange and cold, but it's just a frequency where the Lyme spirochete doesn't feel like it can thrive anymore. And the only way to know if that's successful is if the symptoms improve with energy healing, right? Even doctors can't tell you with the protocols that they've done, has the colony come down? The only way any of us know is if you have a treatment and you feel better, right? So if she's having treatments and she's not feeling better, then some other treatment needs to happen. I can't recommend, like I said, a vitamin, a supplement, a protocol. It's out of my scope of practice. All I can do is tell you how I help people with Lyme or co-infections. And that's pretty much how I do it. And the only way we know, doctors included, naturopath included, if your symptoms improve and you're feeling better, then we
Mm.
know we're doing it. So I hope that
So,
helps. I hope
yeah.
that
Is there
helps.
anything you could see for her right now, or?
Um, I can't read her right now. No.
Oh, okay.
No, I wouldn't be able to outside of I shouldn't say I wouldn't be able to. Yeah, no, I can't connect with her body. Interestingly, this way. Yeah, I'd have to be on the phone with her to get more information and sense what's going on in her body. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn. I don't have I wonder if they have a number for the Netherlands.
Yeah. Oh, if she could call. Well,
I
anyway,
mean,
maybe next show, right? We'll do this again.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Well, I had
Yeah.
some. Let me see. Well, right now no one has called in. I know someone said they wanted to call in. Let me see. Let me see if I could find a Zoom number real quick for the Netherlands,
Yeah.
and she wants to call in. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe if I hear her voice,
Let me see.
I can
Zoom.
answer, yeah, I can answer basic questions through chat, but it might be good for me to ask her some questions if she can
Yeah.
call in.
Here, maybe I could bring her into the. I don't know if she wants to come in, but I think I could just make it copy invite link since no one else is calling. Let me add
Invite her in, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that'd be great.
yeah.
Let's
So
do
we
it.
have some time. Yeah. So Mariska, if you I always say her name, if you're listening and you want to come in, um, I'll send you the link real quick, and then just it's up to you if you want to come in. So let me see. You could ask. Let me see. I have to go through this whole process of I have to email the Zoom link and then get it from my phone, and it's a whole process, but it's worth it. If
It's worth it. I'm impressed. I'm
let me
impressed.
see.
You can do it on the fly. That's really great.
Right? Technology, like if
Yeah.
technology is amazing nowadays, right? Here, copy. I think we could, yeah, why not? Let me see. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is fun.
It is.
Yeah.
We're both Geminis, right?
Oh, she's a Gemini too.
Ah,
Yeah, yeah.
wait, bring her in.
She's 6'6". She's 6'6". You're 6'4", right? Or wait.
I don't want to say on the air,
Oh, okay. Oh, you're good. You're good then.
but
Oh,
we're within a couple weeks.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, someone else has a question, but okay. Uh, she says she has a question. Her husband has a question about his back, and if she needs to hear him, I can have him call about
Yeah,
his back.
that would be great. Let's have him call. I could probably it'd be good to hear his voice and ask a few
Okay.
questions.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Because I put the phone number up top. If you go in the chat with the meeting ID and the password. So if he wants to call in, I'll patch him through.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that way, you know.
Mm.
And then Mariska, I sent you the link if you want to come in. If not, it's okay. But if you want to come in and we'll just put you in the whole meeting and
Mm-hmm.
you could talk real quick. And you don't have to if you want to just do the audio like that, you can have your video muted or whatever and we could do it like that. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah. Technology, right? I love it. So we'll see what she says if she wants to come in.
Okay.
All
Yeah,
right.
that would be helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see, what else can we chat about? So we're gonna wait for the gentleman to call about his back and then see if Mariska wants to come in. So
Hmm.
let's see. Um, so how I became a healer, news for the soul, and I'll connect you with Rose, the animal communicator. She'd be a great
Yeah.
person to interview. It- yeah, the only reason I know about her.
Okay.
Oh,
Mariska
yeah.
wants to come in. Let me admit
Oh,
her.
excellent. Okay, great.
There she is. Okay.
Hi, Mariska.
I think, could you hear us? Unmute the microphone. Okay. Mariska wants to.
Hi, Mariska.
Hi guys.
There she is.
Oh, I'm so glad you logged on. This is wonderful.
Yeah, thank you. We're all Geminis here.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
So it's a little hard for me this is the first time we're doing Callins here, so it's a little hard for me to read. I just gave basic information, but if you could tell me a little bit about your Lyme condition, when were you diagnosed and what symptoms are you having? I'm just going to write things down as you talk to me.
Yeah, great. Can you hear me? Because I can put in my ear things,
I
or
can
is it
hear you. Yep.
okay? So basically, a long story really short. I got it as a baby
Oh.
because my father had it,
Mm.
and we found out really late in life.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think I had my first tick bite in 2001. Then 3, 4 years later, I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had another one in 2007. And then it went down really, really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And another one in 2012. And then in a couple of week times, all my nerves, all my bone, my brain was already damaged. And with that, because I was taking supplements, I was getting treatment for it. I had a vitamin B6 too much of the wrong one.
Mm-hmm.
So I did neural.
You had nerve damage from that, right? B6? Yeah, they don't tell you. That happened to me a long time ago. You know, take B6 and it actually made a neurological condition a lot worse,
Mhm.
right? So your nerves really got injured. Mm-hmm. Okay. So when I help people with a condition, you've been diagnosed with Lyme, you were born with it, you've had tick bites over the years, and now
Yes.
you have this set of symptoms. And when I help people, I help them with their set of symptoms because you can clear the Lyme out of your system, maybe. So let's just say successfully you cleared Lyme out of your system. However, that's done. You
I
did?
did
Okay.
it.
But the damage is still
Yeah.
there in the joints, in the nerves, and in your brain, right? So
Yes.
even though the Lyme has been cleared, now we're dealing with damage. And
Yeah.
when I do my work, people will say, just like you, they had Lyme, maybe it's still in their system, maybe it's cleared. But my job is to help alleviate the symptoms through energy healing. So the joint pain, the nerve damage, and whatever trouble you're or however it was affecting your brain. So has anybody ever talked to you about that before? Like how do you take care of the symptoms?
Oh, yeah, I try so many things also. We've got a little visitor here.
Mhm.
I don't know if you see her. You were talking about the dogs, and I'm gonna have a little cat here.
That's just
You can
great.
see the cat.
They know when the energy is
Yeah,
close,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I done so many healings and
I hear
things,
that all the
and there's
time.
there's also an more spiritual aspect to it because
Yeah.
it's embedded in a life lesson,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm trying to figure it out. I know what it is, but then I still have to learn to
Yeah.
really live it, and then I can get much better.
Yeah.
Uh,
Can I try something for you? Can you tell, like for joint pain, tell me
yeah,
which joints are uncomfortable for you?
which areas you said?
Which joints are uncomfortable? Your
Mm,
shoulder, you don't have to
Um, my knees, my elbows, my hips, my shoulders. Yeah,
shoulders, yeah.
basically everywhere. I'm
Okay.
laughing, but it's not funny.
It's not funny, no.
No,
So
but I can laugh. I
let
don't
me
know why.
start with the shoulder. I'm going to do just a couple minutes and see if we can alleviate some of your pain. Okay, are you open to that?
Of course.
Okay. Which shoulder is worse, the right or the left?
Oh, I'm. It's almost the same, but I'm touching my right one.
Okay. All right. We're mirror image, so I'm going to go here. And all
Yeah.
I'm going to do is ask, I've already done it. Ask your body, how can I help? And so all I'm going to do in 1 second is touch that shoulder and get energy in there. And all
Mhm.
this energy does is help the tissue recover.
Yeah.
And all healing is self-healing, right? I'm not making something happen. It would be like if you had acupuncture, they put the needles in, the needles get energy into the meridians, and then your body uses that energy, right? So
Mhm.
that's what I'm doing right now. And you tell me in a minute if you're starting to feel warm in that shoulder.
I feel it already.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Mm-hmm.
you're pushing.
You feel it, and now your shoulder's going to relax. You watch it's going to go warm,
Yeah.
and that's
And
a
it's strangely enough, it's a kind of heat, but it's almost like a summer breeze.
yeah. So this
And I
is what
feel
I
it.
do to help people. Yeah, you
Mm,
feel it, right? So the body knows that that area, I say out of balance, we know that area is having symptoms. So I
mhm,
just ask, how can I help? The energy comes in to help the inflammation and the challenge that that shoulder is having. And you can see in 2 minutes time, that
mhm.
one's feeling better, isn't it, compared to the other one? Yeah. May I do
It's
the other shoulder for you?
yes, please.
Okay, so just keep my hand here for just 1 moment. And Omar, you may be feeling just like tired, right? Because you're in the field of energy too, and we're all Geminis. Okay, so just a second. Okay, so I'm just going to rest that shoulder mirror image, right? And then I'm going to do the other one. But compared, now this one feels very relaxed and you're feeling it up your neck, right? And you might feel it in your chest wall because I can feel where it's happening and down your esophagus, even your esophagus. I don't know if you have any trouble, difficulty swallowing or anything like that. But in just a second, we're going to go to the other shoulder and at least get you, some relief today. Okay, so just a second. I'm just going to wait until I get the signal. And here we go. So I'm just going to press. It's in a different spot. This one seems a little worse. And this one, did you have a shoulder injury here one time also?
It was a
Yeah.
snowboarding.
What happened? Snowmobile?
Snowboarding.
Oh,
Accident.
snowboarding. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's happening right now, because your body is so intelligent, it's showing me start here, and I'm thinking, why is it in a different position than the other one? And your body is showing me, oh, there's an old shoulder injury. Energy is going to work on that. And then in a moment's time, it's going to go in and help with the inflammation from Lyme. All right. So you might feel a few sensations here. And
Mhm.
I can hear my puppy complaining a little bit. So if she starts really complaining, well, I already spoke with Omar. We'll close the video. So watch, you see how I'm going back like this? This shoulder was pulled way too far forward. So 1 second, it's starting to relax. And as soon as it relaxes completely, then I'll go in and work on the I want to say damage, but the result of
Mhm.
having Lyme in your body, right? Because it can affect the joints, it can affect different things. Okay, so now I'm going to a different position here. It's going right into your shoulder, and you might feel that like breeze or warmth or tingly, and then that shoulder is going to relax, and you're going to feel your whole face relax and your body relax because finally you're getting some attention here. Okay, so
Mhm.
just one moment.
I'm
I'm
going
just,
to close my eyes for a moment. It's nice.
yeah. And I just turned my head to get a little bit deeper into the chest wall right here underneath the collarbone. And there we go. And now that shoulder is done. So tell me how you feel.
Yeah, I feel my shoulders have a different position. I felt it immediately in my breathing. It's more relaxed.
Mm,
So it really goes downwards to my stomach and more areas.
good.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
And what's going to happen is this energy is going to go, it's going to look for that same frequency throughout your body, right? So you can feel it in your airway. You can feel it. I felt it in your esophagus, a little bit
Yeah.
of contraction there. So it happens also when I work with people with arthritis. Maybe they'll call me with an arthritic knee, right? So I help get the energy into the bony structures of the knee, and then they start feeling it, or I start feeling it first usually, and I'll ask, do you have arthritis in your back, your low back? And they'll say, yeah. And so what happens is once I find the frequency that helps support arthritis, and it goes into the knee, it's going to start looking for it everywhere. Okay, so similarly here. So that's an example. I'm so glad you
I
were
can
able to
see it
call in.
already.
Yeah,
It's
right. So
almost
you're
like
gonna,
they're
yeah,
communicating with the other cells, like, okay, with the hips, like, okay, here we come, listen to us. We know how to do it.
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, it's
So
amazing.
thank you for being right there and getting on the show, because it's a good, few minutes of an example of how your body so intelligently can use
So
this energy
intelligent.
to help it heal, right?
Yeah. So thank you for nursing it, for
You're
providing
welcome.
the energy space.
You're welcome. You're
Yeah.
welcome. Pleasure to meet you. Thank you. You too. Mwah.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Omar.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure. Thank you so much. And I guess we have another caller, so I'll bring them in. Thank you.
I will go.
Okay. Okay. Goodbye.
Ciao,
Okay.
ciao.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Huh?
Hello?
You said, hello?
Are you here?
Yeah,
How's it going?
it's going good.
Good, good. Okay, so I'm gonna let you talk to Jane and go ahead and tell her
What's his
what
name? First name?
your first name and oh, you need the last name too?
Nope, just the first name and how can I help?
Okay. My name is Toby, and
Yeah.
I'm having some problems with my back.
Mhm.
One of the areas of my back, anyways. So that's why I'm calling in.
Yeah. So is it low back right side?
Well, see, it's low back, and then it's also upper. So there's two different areas.
Yeah. All right. And so did you have injury on your low back years ago, a car accident or anything like that?
No, I think it was more of like lifting wrong my
Yeah.
young years,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
it's been a problem since then. So
Hmm. Okay, so tell me, so low back and mid back. So when do you notice the pain the most? Is it when you're sleeping, when you're sitting in your car, if you get in and out of the car? When do you notice the pain the most?
probably like when I wake up,
Mhm.
after sleeping, I would notice that it feels like sore or like achy, like I slept wrong or something, and it just kind of hurts in the beginning, and then once I start moving around, then it kind of eases up a little bit.
Mhm.
But it's not all the time.
Yeah.
But it is bothersome. It is uh, kind of a
Yeah. Yeah. So
discomfort.
it's an old injury when that happens. What ends up happening is you get muscle spasms or tension in that area. And depending on where the spasm goes, right? So that spasm must have traveled up your back. So your mid back is very uncomfortable too. And
Mm-hmm.
the job would be to help relax those spasms in your low back and then all the way up to your mid back. And
Mm.
that should help alleviate the pain. So have you tried what other modalities have you tried? Did you do physical therapy or chiropractic care, anything like that?
I was going to a chiropractor pretty regular,
Mhm.
every 3 months maybe.
Mhm.
Back home, well, back in our previous state.
Mhm.
Um, and then I kind of just kind of got away from going and just kind of trying to do things on my own as far as stretches and things like that
Yeah,
to help give me that relief.
but it's not solving the problem.
Um, no.
Right, right. So this is exactly what happens. People have some sort of an injury, a muscle spasms in an area. If the muscle spasm in the original injury, which was the one longest time ago, if that muscle spasm had gone down your leg, you'd have sciatica pain, right? But the muscle
Mm-hmm.
spasm went up and to the muscles
Okay.
mid back. And that's, so that's traveling over years time. It will go all the way up to your neck. It'll probably go out to your right shoulder. Your right hip may also be affected later. It's just muscles that are contracting, and then they can only contract so much, and then the next set of muscles start to contract and shorten, and then the next set of muscles that attaches to those have to contract and shorten, and first thing you know, you have shoulder pain, neck pain, migraines, or if the spasm went down, you have sciatica, you have problems with your feet, those kind of things. So the job is to help relax the original injury spasm area, get your spine
Mm-hmm.
aligned. I don't do chiropractic adjustments. I relax
Mm-hmm.
muscles, ligaments, and tendons, and the spine naturally remembers its alignment, and it will take the
Mm-hmm.
pressure off the low back and the mid back and your entire, I'd have to look at your entire structure. Because it's probably happening in other areas. Other areas probably feel tense that you aren't even realizing
Yeah.
right now. Yeah.
No. Yeah. It's amazing you said that because it is going. Now you said it could go up, which it seems like it is, and
Yeah.
it's affecting my right shoulder and my right part of my neck on the back part where that
Exactly.
nerve.
Exactly. So if you leave it alone, chiropractic care can help somewhat. I don't know, if physical therapy would help or not, but really
Mm-hmm.
energy healing helps those spasms relax. Been doing this more than 20 years, chronic pain, chronic conditions. And as the muscle spasms start to relax, the bones remember their alignment, and then the pressure comes off of the areas that are spasming, and then the inflammation can come down, and then your body can heal. Because what you don't want to have happen is, another 20 years like this, and then your hip kind of pulls forward and your neck turns to the left, not permanently, but always wants to turn to the left. And then, the pain starts to go up the back of your skull. You know what I mean? It's just going to continue. So
Yeah.
find yourself a good energy healer. I would be happy to work with you also. I pretty much specialize in tissue work. So I don't know anybody else out there that does it. Maybe there is, but I think a good energy healer that can help those muscle spasms relax in the
Mm-hmm.
long run, you're gonna, be better off in terms of other structural changes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
So is there any relief you could give them right now or not? Not really.
Yeah, sure, I can. Hold on one second. I'm just listening to my puppy cry. So maybe
Oh,
go another 5 minutes. This can be the last call.
okay,
All
absolutely.
right. So, Troy,
Oh, Toby.
Toby, I'm sorry. I have it written down, Toby. So may I have permission to just put my hands on your low back?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm just going to go low back to the right of the spine. And all I'm going to do is relax muscles, ligaments, and tendons here. And you're going to start feeling some relief. And there we go. All right. You're starting to feel your low back relax.
Yeah.
Now watch. The energy is going to look for that type of spasm, and it's going to follow it. And you might already feel it relaxing behind your shoulder blade. You feel it traveling
Yeah,
up?
I can. Yeah.
It's a pretty bad spasm behind your shoulder blade, and now it's going to your neck.
Yes, it is.
Now, we want to be sure people don't think this is the power of suggestion, right? So did you feel it before I said it?
I can feel it as you say it.
As I say it, okay. I'm just working fast here. Most people say to me, I noticed before you said anything, right? So we want to be sure the audience knows it's not the power of suggestion, it's actually the energy helping your body heal. So this is a small demonstration of how energy healing can help that chronic condition that you have. When I work with people, they have a series of sessions once a week over some time to help relax all of the spasms, let the spine align, get the pressure off of those areas, work on inflammation, look at any other areas that are out of alignment that are different from this original spasm on the low back. Could be other injuries like knees or hip, right hip. And then get all of that together. And then going forward in your lifetime, you're going to have, less physical ailments and structurally and less discomfort as you age.
That gives me
Was it
hope.
helpful? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, that gives me hope that there's other options there.
Yeah.
That I would have never thought. I like that. I'm glad I came across this video.
Yeah, and I want to thank Omar for just being really astute here, because I was giving you all this information, but I didn't say, how can I help? So I just want to thank Omar for snapping me into that. I should have realized sooner, but anyway, I was just sort of watching what your body was showing me. So I want to just appreciate Omar for being just right on that so I could help you today.
Thank you,
Absolutely.
Omar.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so hope that helped, Toby. And thank you for calling.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Toby.
guys.
You're welcome.
Absolutely.
Alrighty.
All
Take
right.
care.
Bye-bye.
All right, you too.
Yeah.
Okay, so real quick, if you wanted to, because I know you gotta go, if the puppy's getting restless. Yeah, thank you so much to Mariska and Toby for calling. Jane, it's always an honor, and your time. I appreciate it so much. So yeah, if you want to give any real quick, I'll put all the information for anyone to
Yeah.
contact you as well underneath. And
Yeah, I'll just, tell people what I do and how they can find me. So as Omar read earlier at the beginning of the show, I'm a medical intuitive energy healer. I help people with chronic pain and chronic illness through a series of energy healing sessions. But the reason I say medical intuitive is because I can actually see what's happening with the body. So people can find me at janefecteau.com. If you have a question that you'd like me to answer, there on the nav bar, contact Jane, fill out the form. Once I get it, I'll set up a time to talk with you. If you'd like to request a healing session, you request a healing session tab, fill out the form, hit submit. One thing that might help people understand the depth and breadth of my work is the testimonial page. There you can read happy healing stories. People write paragraphs about how this work changed their life or the life of a loved one. So I encourage people to look at those testimonials too. And if I can help in any way or answer any questions, just contact me through my website.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Jane.
You're
Uh,
welcome.
yeah, absolutely. It's an honor. And yeah, I'll put all the links for everyone to contact you. And again, I'll put the links to your new show. That's gonna be
Thank
the third Monday every month,
you.
right?
Yeah, the next
Starting
one's May 20th.
May
So,
20th. Okay,
and
so
that's
this month.
also a link to watch the show live and then a call-in number to ask any questions. Or you can join the show live and Nicole will monitor the texts, the chats coming in, the questions.
Okay,
All
perfect.
right.
So
Thank you,
thank you so
Omar.
much.
It's been
No, no,
fun.
it's an honor. Yeah, so always. So thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so on that note, thanks